Well, hello everyone, Texie88 here, and welcome to another board game related video. And now we're taking a look at Resident Evil, the board game Bleak Outpost, which is an expansion pack to the Resident Evil, the board game that I showed in my previous video. Now, as I've just said, this is an expansion pack, so you need that as well in order to use this. This is an expansion, therefore cannot be used by itself. And here's the underside of that. As with the main game, you've got the blurb there, and it tells you that it adds some extra scenarios to the main campaign that's in the main game. And speaking of the main game, if you look very carefully here, sorry, it's out of focus, but if you look at this bit here, it actually says core required. Showing you that you must have the base Resident Evil, the board game, in order to play this. Other than that, the symbols are the same as what was on that. And as before, you get a little bit of an illustration showing what's in the new expansion. Now we'll take a gander inside. So I'm just going to place the device down. That's better. Not so much of a faff when I have both hands free. So here's the Bleak Outpost rulebook introduction and the game elements that have been added to this expansion. There are some additional tokens to what was already in the base game, as well as some all new things, including some another 5x5 tile, some more corpse tokens, and some additional item cards and some narrative cards and more tension cards and two boss characters, Neptune and Plant 42. And there's a bit about how this expands the campaign and how the changes necessary in order to accommodate it, as well as explanations of the new rules, in particular such things like being able to be poisoned in this particular expansion, for which you require a blue herb in order to ward off the damning effects of having suffered a poison attack. As in the video game, your health will gradually deplete until such time as you find a blue herb and use it. And also because Neptune and Plant 42 have an ungainly bulk, although it's probably more applicable to Neptune because the other one's a plant and therefore can't move. It shows Neptune actually takes up 4 of the squares on a tile, rather than either one square or less than a square. And after that, I won't spoil the surprise, but then it just goes into the new scenarios that have been added in this particular expansion. And just in case you needed them, you got a whole bunch of additional floor tiles and the like, and some more of those stair tiles, and the ability to use additional 1, 2 and 3 encounter card tokens. Is that double-sided 5x5 floor tile I mentioned earlier. And there's another one. And here's the meat of this particular expansion. There's only one tray worth of things in this. There isn't a second tray there like there is in the base game. So here's the base of plant 42, and the idea is that this just goes on the top and makes the complete figurine. So it's a bit hard to do this when you're high up above. That's done it. So if you're doing the scenario that actually has plant 42 in it, so that's what you place there. And here's Neptune, the rather vicious shark enemy, which anyone who's played through the original video game will no doubt remember, not particularly fondly probably. And I just used a recess in there to keep certain tokens there. Here's one of the new ones in this expansion. Some tiles that can be used to mark a room as flooded, and others are just more ability. And here are some of vines that can come into play in certain scenarios in this particular expansion. And here we got some more cards, some of which are the exploration cards for the new areas. They work exactly the same way as in the base game. Here's some info cards and boss behavior cards for Neptune and Plant 42 in here as well. And as you can see, we've also got some additional tension cards at the bottom. One thing I forgot to mention is that many of the tension cards have a number in the bottom right corner, and each scenario tells you which numbered cards you need to add to the tension deck for that particular scenario. Other than that, unless said otherwise, all of the cards that don't have a number there at all would be in the tension pack as standard for that particular scenario. And there are some more item A, item B, and item C tokens, as well as some more special cards to show the different statuses of locked doors and the like. And that is pretty much it for this expansion. As it is expansion, it doesn't really need much more than what you've already seen. So that's everything that's in Resident Evil, the board game Bleak Outpost. And as with the main game, you can either play the game, play each of these scenarios singly, or better still, use them to expand the existing campaign. Although in some ways it's kind of a shame that this was done as a separate expansion rather than being included in the base game, because it does unfortunately mean shelling out more money in order to get this and the other expansion, which is called Into the Darkness, which I intend to look into on a future video. Oh yeah, and another thing I forgot to mention is in this expansion, which is amongst the smaller cards and more of the map cards. You may remember that I mentioned in the base game that as you go, if you're playing the campaign, as you complete scenarios, you unlock other parts of the mansion to be able to access later, and there are some additional ones to cover the scenarios in this, as well as an altered version to use in place of one that's in the existing base game. to help accommodate these new ones. So that basically is Resident Evil board game Bleak Outpost. Because this is an expansion, it is understandably a much shorter video than the video I did for the base game. Because this generally adds some new things to the familiar formula, and as I said, it expands the campaign. Or if you're playing each of the scenarios singly, adds some additional campaigns to lengthen the enjoyment a bit. But of course, it's best if you manage to accommodate this into the scenario to complement the scenario covered in the base game, to make it even to get the full effect of it. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope to catch you on another one soon. Texie88 out.